Hello and welcome to another Arkeys video and to a new 2 million credit lap time challenge on Gran Turismo 7. We are at Fuji, we are in wet conditions and we are allowed to use one Group 4 car, which is the WRX. And a bit unusual on this time trial, we have 2 tire compounds available, and just make sure you are on the wet tires. That is the way to go in this one. I did this on a live stream Friday morning. If you want to see the full extent of my troubles, you can go and watch that. I will post a link on the screen and in the description as well. Now we will have a closer look at my fastest attempt on that live stream, have a look at some brake markers and in general what I was trying to do to achieve a decent time on this time trial. And if you are enjoying the content, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. Now let's jump into the lap. And we are approaching turn 1 and I am looking for the top corner of the grandstand as well as the 150 board. I have to brake short of the 150 board and now we are braking in a straight line, intentionally following the ghost, going deep into the corner, avoiding the racing line. You can see I've got the racing line turned on. A bit of first gear for rotation, back up to second. I want to immediately get off the racing line again to get back onto the power. Now we are coming up towards turn 2 and I am looking for the 100 board. That was a good marker for me. So just as I reach that, I get the car down to third gear, slow it down, and I coast into the corner, make sure I get to the inside of the racing line and then across the racing line, then we can get back onto the power again. Here I am looking at that pathway, but you can see I'm already lifting. I just want to make sure I don't run wide, using a bit of third gear to rotate the car, and then I'm just trying to put in some throttle input. And once I am sure that the car will stay on the track, I'm fully on the power, I'm drifting a bit far towards the left hand side. I'm using that small orange square between the 100 board and the 50 board as a reference to brake down to second gear, not going completely on the inside. Make sure to stay off the racing line, back up to third gear and accelerating out of there. And now we are coming down towards a tricky corner because we don't have the chicane on this layout, so we've got a fast right-hander instead. We've got the Dunlop sign. I'm actually still using that as a reference. We've got that bit of the wall, the red bit of the wall, and we need to brake early down to third gear. Make sure you get on the inside of the racing line so you can coast through the corner, back to the outside of the racing line, back onto the power. And here I am looking for that white rectangle out there. That is my reference to brake, because you want to brake before the usual green stuff on the left hand side. I am using a bit of second gear just to rotate the car in, and my exit is going to be a bit clumsy. I want to be on the left hand side of the racing line, but I'm a bit too much on the curb itself and the cars are getting a bit wobbly. You can use that end of the curb as a reference for where you need to slow the car down for this corner, down to second gear, back up to third. Really about finding the right amount of speed to just coast around that corner, making sure to get off the racing line to accelerate. And here I took a too wide line many times. You can still use that end of the wall as a reference. This time I'm making sure I'm not running too deep into the corner. I'm actually aiming to cross the racing line just to shorten the distance, but back across the racing line again, up to third gear, and then we can accelerate and go towards the finish line. And this was right at the end of my stream. I was running out of available stream time, but we managed in the last moment to get a 148.777. So I was pleased with that, to be honest. Also managed to sneak into the top 100. At the time I did the time, I'm probably already out again. But now we are going to run through the lap in chase cam and no interruptions. Looking for the 150 board, getting the car slowed down, braking in straight line, turning in late, sort of avoiding the inside, back onto the power. And now we are going to look for the 100 board. And once we get to that, down to third gear, really make sure to coast through that corner, back onto the power again. And now we are already lifting a bit, using a bit of third gear. I'm actually drifting a bit too wide for my own taste. They're also coming into this corner, looking at that small square between the 100 and 50 board, down to second for rotation, back up to third, get off the racing line, and back onto the power. And now we are coming down towards the fast right-hander, and we are looking for the Dunlop sign, because I know my reactions make me brake after it anyway. Down to third gear, make sure to get on the inside of the racing line, and then on the outside for accelerating again, looking for that white rectangle. We are past it already. Now back up to third, a bit wobbly because I'm way too much on the curb. Down to second gear to rotate the car, back up to third on the exit, and yeah, got a bit of a slide on. Now make sure not to run too wide into the final corner, using second gear, and this time I'm staying in second gear. Want to get as much acceleration out of the car as possible. It seemed like third gear felt a bit slower on that final corner. Now we are just racing towards the finish line. If you can figure out avoiding your usual racing lines and turn on that racing line as a reference for where to go and not to go, I think this is a fairly doable time trial. The car is fairly easy to drive as well, so once you avoid the most slippery spots on the track, I think getting a gold should be doable on this one. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining, maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.